This is William Hall with Resist the Mainstream. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe as it'll help us out here, help our videos get found, as well as make sure that you get updates in the future. So, many of you are familiar with Dylan Mulvaney. Remember the whole crazy Bud Light story. Let's go ahead and jump right into this one. This is a kind of an interesting situation because he finally breaks his silence on this whole situation, right? This has been going on for a while now. I mean, we've seen the numbers, we've seen what's happened, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But the thing is that finally he has come out and said, you know what, let me go ahead and say something, because he's been completely silent this entire time. So go ahead and check this clip out here.
Hi. One thing I will not tolerate people saying about me is that I don't like beer, because I love beer and I always have. I built my platform on being honest with you, and what I'm about to tell you might sound like old news, but you know that feeling when you have something uncomfy like sitting on your chest? Well, that's how I feel right now, so this feels like the right thing to do. I took a brand deal with a company that I loved, and I posted a sponsored video to my page. And it must have been a slow news week, because the way that this ad got blown up, you would have thought I was like on a billboard or on a TV commercial or something major. But no, it was just an Instagram video. And the wildest part is that they also sent me one can with my face on it. You might have seen it. And funny story, I had the can around my house, but then I realized, wait, I need to protect this can. So I hid it somewhere. And now I can't find it because I hid it so well. But when I do find it, I feel like it needs to go in a museum, preferably behind bulletproof glass. And you might be thinking, Dylan, why bring it up now? I'm bringing it up because what transpired from that video was more bullying and transphobia than I could have ever imagined. And I should have made this video months ago, but I didn't. And I was scared, and I was scared of more backlash, and I felt personally guilty for what transpired. So I patiently waited for things to get better. But surprise, they haven't really. And I was waiting for the brand to reach out to me, but they never did. And for months now, I've been scared to leave my house. I have been ridiculed in public. I've been followed. And I have felt a loneliness that I wouldn't wish on anyone. And I'm not telling you this because I want your pity. I am telling you this because if this is my experience from a very privileged perspective, know that it is much, much worse for other trans people. For a company to hire a trans person and then not publicly stand by them is worse, in my opinion, than not hiring a trans person at all, because it gives customers permission to be as transphobic and hateful as they want. And the hate doesn't end with me. It has serious and grave consequences for the rest of our community. And you know, we're customers too. I know a lot of trans and queer people who love beer. And I have some lesbian friends who could drink some of those haters under the table. But to turn a blind eye and pretend everything is okay, it just isn't an option right now. And you might say, but Dylan, I don't want to get political. Babe, supporting trans people, it shouldn't be political. There should be nothing controversial or divisive about working with us. And I know it's possible because I've worked with some fantastic companies who care. But caring about the LGBTQ plus community requires a lot more than just a donation somewhere during Pride Month. And all this to say, bottom line is that if you follow me, if I've made you smile, if you care about me, I need you to care about every trans person. And I need you to support us, and I need you to stand by us. And hey, it's still Pride Month. So I'm going to celebrate being alive, and I'm going to celebrate the trans people in my life and the ones I haven't met yet. And I'm going to celebrate the fact that no matter how many thousands of horrible messages or news anchors misgendering me or companies going silent, that I can look in the mirror and see the woman that I am and that I love being. And I know you were probably here for the tea of it all, but I would love for something productive to come from this. So there is a link in my bio to the Trans Law Center, who is doing some wonderful work if you have the means to donate. And to the good people out there, I love ya. I really do. And cheers, but only if you're of legal drinking age. Okay, I love you. Bye.
All right, so as you can tell, This is an interesting one because really what's happening is that he's coming out and mentioning all of this, and the reality is Dylan is somebody that has basically really changed the entire tune of so many more companies than just Bud Light, realistically. I mean, first of all, with one of the comments that he was making in the video, he was talking about the idea that he was so surprised that for a company to hire this trans person and then not publicly stand by them, he's so surprised by this. Why would they do this? Well, if we actually look at the facts, so the reason why Dylan was obviously hired, besides them, these companies trying to go woke, these companies trying to appeal to literally what 0.1 whatever it is percentage of the population, is that they're trying to branch into this new thing. They think that they are invincible, that they can do whatever they want. I mean, Bud Light was the #1 selling beer. They feel like they're untouchable, right? And they can do whatever they want. And it's a result of them hiring these woke marketing people. It's the companies that are doing this. I believe that lady's actually been fired as well now. But you see them doing this over and over again, right? They think they can do whatever they want no matter what happens. But there are consequences to that. Everybody talks about, this is capitalism, that's capitalism. Well, listen, we're in a free market. People have the right to choose whatever it is they want. And the reality is that this put a lot of companies on notice. Because as we are just now wrapping up Pride Month, right? You've seen less companies actually go out and actually put up these banners. Less companies change their logo. Some of them change their logo and then change them back. Some companies are actually not even putting up as much marketing about it. They're not talking about it as much. And you wonder why. It's because of the fact that these things they're just unpopular. Nobody wants this. It's obvious. And the biggest thing that you can do, the #1 way that you can actually affect change with companies is with the almighty dollar. It's with your own wallet. When we stop purchasing things, all of a sudden the entire narrative flips. All of a sudden they realize, hey, we can't keep doing this or we're just going to fail, right? So it goes on with this article and it's saying this incident had severe consequences for Bud Light, both internally and externally, right? I mean, this was a major deal. It took Bud Light from being the #1 selling beer to I think it's #2 and still dropping at this moment. And they've seen significant financial losses due to the boycott, which led to a drop, obviously, in the sales, displaced the brand and its status, everything like that. And also from a broader perspective, it goes on to say that Anheuser-Busch as well, the parent company for Bud Light, has made statements in response to the controversy. So you have the CEO, Brendan Whitworth, mentioning that the company's commitment to various communities, including the LGBTQ plus community, and emphasis on the importance of privacy and safety of its employees and partners. And so it says, however, Whitworth has been criticized for sidestepping questions about the campaign and its impact, and for not providing any direct support to him during Dylan Mulvaney during this entire situation. So this is something that has been ongoing for a while now, but you see from the video that the reality is he doesn't get it. I don't think he really understands exactly why people are so upset about this. The reality is that what he's doing, they're denying, basically what people are doing is that they're coming out and they're saying, you know what, we're not standing for this. We're not going to allow for a company to advertise and basically reject its own base. The thing is, I think everybody would be happy if just companies just did what they did well, which is sell your product, make your product, and let people buy that product if the product is good. Don't leave it up to these weird marketing people to decide, oh, well, we're going to throw in all of this inclusion and representation. Like, these people aren't drinking your beer. There was actually a clip after the main kind of controversy was happening for maybe a couple of weeks where it was showing this I think a Pride festival from the year before where these people were standing on the side of the road basically saying boycott Bud Light, but it's like 10 people. Like, come on, like none of these people are your key demographic. These companies need to realize it. They know this and they think that for some reason capturing that 0.1% or whatever it is really going to make all the difference. It's not. It's going to turn off the 99% of other people that actually pay for your product. And that's what's going to continue to happen. And I'm glad it's happening because we need to strike these companies where it hurts the most. Their wallet, their pocketbook, that's where they're going to be able to immediately say, oh, okay, we're going to backstep, we're going to sidestep. As far as Bud Light not coming out and saying anything to support this guy, clearly not. I mean, there's clearly some company turmoil over what's going on. It's funny that they just expect a company just to be like, oh, yeah, we're totally in support of you. I mean, they are struggling right now. Bud Light is in deep financial trouble, and that will continue to happen as their stock continues to decline, as other beer companies that are out there that are smart enough to realize, hey, that was stupid, let's do something else. Let's do the smart thing and actually support our customers, actually advertise to our key demographics instead of trying to sacrifice all of them at the altar of the LGBTQIA plus whatever else you want to add on top of that, right? And that's where this story is really coming into play. So let us know down in the comments what you think. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and that way that you can actually get updates on videos going forward. But with that being said, I'm William Hall with Resist the Mainstream, and we'll catch you on the next one.